9 children have been injured after their scholar transport lost control and crashed into a tree near Sarnia Primary School in Pinetown, west of Durban. According to ALS paramedics, their injuries range from minor to moderate. For more on this, let's now speak to ALS paramedics spokesperson Garrith Jamieson. Garrith, a very good afternoon to you. Give us a sense in terms of this particular accident. What do you know so far as what led to the accident, and how many children are you dealing with at this point in time?
Yes, thank you for having me. So I can confirm that Scholar Transport was transporting approximately 9 children, and obviously the driver, so 10 in total, when it somehow lost control in the Underwood Road near Sarnia Primary School. Somehow lost control and collided with a tree. So at this stage, the patients have been transported to hospital. And as I said, they're 9 children with ages ranging from about 6 years old to 10 years old, and all have sustained minor to moderate injuries. Obviously, on the scene, we had to reach out to their parents and just inform them. And obviously, some of the parents made their way to the scene. Quite hysterical, as one can imagine, as you just speaking about the horrific accidents in Johannesburg. And so they made their way to the scene, and some met us at different hospitals. But fortunately, no deaths, and the driver had sustained minor injuries as well.
Was the driver able to tell you what happened when you got to the scene as the paramedics were treating him? Because, I mean, was he speeding if he, drove into a tree? We don't want to speculate, but any word that came out from him in terms of what might have happened, also in terms of just how the weather was?
It's been raining on and off today in this area, in Pinetown area of Durban. Obviously, the driver just informed us that he lost control of the vehicle. And as you can imagine, though, even if the driver is wrong, they never do admit to any of as such. However, obviously, SAPS were in attendance, and they will be investigating this accident, because, I mean, as it's just the start of the school year that started, and we see a lot of these, and especially, I mean, all over the country. But the relevant authorities actually clamped down hard to try and stop this carnage, even if it's not carnage, just the accidents, because, I mean, the trauma, it puts everyone under, from the children obviously being young to their parents, and then obviously days off school, which is their learning time. So, and I know RTI and the Minister of Transport, like I say, all over, but they're quite heavy on scholar accidents.
I mean, just also looking at the ages of these children, you're saying 6 to 10 years old. Are you able to tell us if all of them or many of them will be kept overnight in the hospitals for observation? I can only imagine that a minor or moderate, injury to a 6-year-old child is different from that of an adult.
Yeah, so obviously, with children involved, the professionals, I mean, hospitals, medics, we treat everyone the same, but obviously with a child, it's more intense, because you never know what they could develop later on. So, the rule of thumb is most likely that most of the children will be kept for observation, just for safety's sake. And say a concussion on an adult is very different to a concussion on a child, because obviously they're still growing, and their reaction is it could be a lot worse than that of a grown adult.
Yeah, you earlier said, Garrith, that you see a lot of these incidents, particularly, in the beginning of a new year when it relates to scholar transport. As a first responder, what toll does it take on, the paramedics and just teams dealing with young children being involved in these kinds of accidents?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most of us have children. I mean, I've got a small daughter, and for the medics to go out and the first responders to arrive there, and the children are absolutely hysterical, as you can imagine. You're then dealing with multiple, so you need to treat the child, you need to calm them down as well, and then you need to try and get hold of their folks. which sometimes or most times is a little bit tricky because the younger children don't have or don't know telephone numbers in their head. So we obviously look through their class books, or if we're able to get hold of the school. Excuse me. If we're able to get hold of the school, we're able to try and track down the parents' details and call them. But I mean, it's quite emotional because you get on scene like this scene here, and there's just 9 children lying, crying, screaming, just very anxious. Understandably, the vehicle they were in obviously just hit a tree. They had no knowledge of what caused it. They were probably playing or talking to each other in the back, and then the next thing they're being hurled against the seat or the back seat, or a window, etc. So, as I say, unfortunately, we see a lot of this here in Durban. But our team acts professionally because, I don't want to say they're used to this kind of incident, but it is very frequent.
I mean, fortunately, they are alive, and even though they have been injured, given when we look at what happened in Vanderbijl Park this morning, where 13 children were killed and some of them are in critical condition in hospital. But Garrith, thank you so much for your time.